Week 14. Already. Man, I was thinking about that the other day. How crazy that it's already week 14. We're already thinking about playoffs. Playoffs?
Last week before the playoffs. And I know like almost all of mine are very close.
Yeah, I was just looking in a league this morning. Someone pointed out that not a single person in our league had clinched playoffs. And it's because the top 7 teams are all 8-5.
That's wild.
So literally this last week could be anybody. It is insane. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, that makes me a little nervous. Honestly, luckily, I'm playing the last place team this week in there. Unfortunately, he has Tyreek Hill, and so who knows how this goes. I'm getting Justin Jefferson back, so that helps me quite a bit. So,
dude, I need JJ back so bad.
I hear that.
Unfortunately, I missed playoffs in several leagues because after, like, I just went on these losing streaks after losing him among other people. But
well, yeah, I lost JJ. I was 6-0, first place in that league, and right now I'm 8-5, just hoping to make playoffs. It's been rough.
It's crazy, man.
Tyler, how are you doing tonight, man?
Man, I am alive and kicking and, hanging in there.
I can tell the wife and kid are back. They're not as hyper as last week.
No, they're not back.
They're back in
back. They're still in Virginia. I've just I've taken the opportunity to work on a lot of stuff. So I have not gone to bed before midnight.
You just burned through all the energy last week.
Yeah, I haven't burned through. I haven't gone to bed. Yeah, there's been no bedtime before midnight, and I'm still getting up at 5:30, 6 a.m. to go to work. So it just, I think it may be starting to catch up, but we're all good. We're here. Yeah. We're alive.
Take it from me and Corey. Eventually, your body calluses to that, and you just get used to it.
Nah, it's just a different world when you're used to having wife and kids around, and then it's just like the house is empty. It's weird. We got Albert in the house,
of course, and
I'm gonna guess that this is you on Facebook here, Tyler.
Oh yeah,
we got Albert in the house as usual. Guys, week 14 is boggling my mind, and I know we keep talking about this, but again, we wait all off season for football, and then all of a sudden football's over, and it hit me the other day with college football is where it hit me. Of oh gosh, we just had all the college. They just picked all the bowl games. What? Yeah. I mean, holy cow! That means the season is done, right? And then now fantasy is coming up on playoffs, and it's just all getting too real at the end of the season, and it's upsetting because that next thing you know, we're going to be in freaking baseball season or something stupid. And
baseball never freaking ends.
I'm just, man. Luckily, basketball has been entertaining so far this year as a Thunder fan. So, do you follow basketball at all, Tyler?
I do. Fan? I do. I follow a lot of basketball. In-season tournament just ended, and it's going. Basketball is I do really good on basketball props betting.
I was about to say, I bet you bet basketball, don't you?
Yeah, it's a lot easier than football. Hoping that somebody gets so many receptions, rebounds or blocks. It's a lot easier to kind of gauge based on stats and matchup.
Yeah, I hear you. Who's your team? Do you have a team, or are you more of a fan of players?
In basketball, Grizzlies.
Okay, that's been an interesting roller coaster.
Yeah. It's we've got a star player that thinks he's still 19 and wants to live this. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I might get our show canceled if I start talking about it too much.
It's just, it sucks because last year, up at the top of the league, and then this year just back down again. It's been rough, but anywho, enough about basketball. How about this football season? How many leagues are you in this year, Tyler?
Oh, I don't even know. Like,
Enough?
like 16 or something like that. And then I've got, kind of commissioning all the Fantasy Football Advice Network jersey leagues, which
Yeah.
are really, dude, those leagues are so competitive.
They're
There's
so
a
competitive.
ton of there's a ton of leagues that like there's maybe like one person that's like 9 and 4 or whatever, and then everybody else is like 6 and 7 or 7 and 6.
Yep.
Like, I mean, like the playoffs are wide open going into week 14. So I mean, I mean, the title of the show, like it is, the moment of truth, you know what I mean? Like you gotta win. And I mean, I've pretty much locked playoffs in all leagues but 2. And then I've got one where I was like, this is a throwaway year. There's no way I'm going to be competitive. And somehow I have managed to like wedge myself after 6 straight losses at the beginning of the season into a position to be like the 6th seed. I just have to win one more game.
It's on a roll, man. Coming in hot.
I have a league just like that where I'm like, I sucked all year, but I still got a slight chance to get in. Dude, that Jersey League is maddening, though, because, it's split into divisions. I've been 4th out of, 5 in my division all year. I would have been 2nd in the other division all year. And so I'm, missing playoffs. And then this week, I jumped to number 2 in my division. I'm just like, all right, now we're cooking with gas.
Yeah,
just got to win one more to lock it.
Divisions are frustrating sometimes, but it actually most of the time they're frustrating pretty much all of the time. So
I love it. Adds a fun little caveat to the game.
It's
just
like
the NFL
because you can be 3rd in your division and 1st in 2 of the other ones, and it's like that's not right.
Well, I saw that the other day. They were showing just an actual NFL, right? They were showing playoff teams, wild card, and in the hunt and stuff. And you had people in the hunt that had a better schedule than I think it was like the Falcons or something, who were like going to the playoffs, and they're just like, this is so bad. Like they had a losing record there, and they're like 5 and 7 or something, and in the playoffs, and you had teams who had 1 more or 2 more wins that were just in the hunt trying to get in. It's like so frustrating.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some waiver wire pickups this week. I know we'll probably have people coming in asking about them, but I figure we'll go ahead and get a jump start. I think it's fairly obvious who the number 1 waiver wire pickup is this week. Tyler, who you got your top pickup? Sorry to put you on the spot there.
Give me Zeke.
A bowl of cereal. I just ate a bowl of cereal in his honor. So
you eat a big wooden spoon like a Neanderthal.
For me, I have held him on my roster all season. He has managed to win me games here or there with one-off touchdowns, and now we get him by his lonesome, unless somehow Bill Belichick finds some off-brand name that nobody knows about and decides
which it's going
to make him relevant tomorrow. Yeah, which is possible.
It could happen.
But I'm excited. It could be the Zeke show, and they need it. They need some offense.
I swear, if Zeke fumbles it in the first quarter and doesn't see the game, the field again for the rest of the game, I'm going to be so pissed. Yeah. Yes.
Well, Zeke is mostly owned. I do have, and I don't know. I've got one of those deep sleepers that's like tugging at me, but I'm not sure if I want to. I'm not sure if I want to believe. But the possibilities are there, and that's John Mechie.
Okay, that is okay.
Tank Dell's now out. Ahead. No, Dell's out for the season.
Yeah.
They've been ramping Mechie up a little bit. Noah Brown's banged up, looked really didn't look great last game. Yeah, Nico. That's it. Brevin Jordan got more targets.
It's out there. I'll give you that. That is a bold thought. I'm not fighting for the playoffs or going into the playoffs. I am not putting Mechie in a lineup. even in like a 12 team league. I mean, maybe in a 14 or 16 teamer. If you
Well,
are
I don't play in
desperate.
anything under 12.
Yeah. But even in 12, you got to be pretty needy.
You got teams on bye this week.
Well, that's true. For this week, you might be right. You might be right.
I mean, it's deep. That's one I'm going to kind of watch how it goes and watch how practice goes. But if I need a deep grab and I'm in a really bad place, I might consider it.
A bad, dark place.
In a dark place. Look, I still got hope. I drafted him in like the third round of a lot of my dynasty drafts. And then, of course, after we draft early, so it wasn't until after the draft we found out the whole cancer thing. He worked back from that. So I'm excited to see him get going. It's not like he's not talented. You know what I mean? They just have to, he's just got to get back in shape. He's got to get back in tune with it. And now he's got a quarterback that could make him relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kyle, who else you got on yours? Or do you want to talk about Zeke at all? Do you have anything to add on Zeke really quick?
I didn't have anything to add on Zeke. He's also my top ad this week, though. But as far as Mechie, I don't hate that. If Noah Brown's not available, grab and stash. If Noah Brown's available, I still prefer to grab him.
I have a feeling that Noah Brown is more available than you would think, just because I think he had that little burst and everyone was like, go get him. And then, then he fell back off.
Well, once Nico came back, everybody probably dropped him.
Right. So now he's probably available again. So you can probably actually get him in most leagues. Because like I said, when Nico was out, he performed well. When Nico came back, he went back to his spot. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think Noah Brown's going to be available. Is he probably your number 2 waiver pickup, Kyle, or do you have someone else?
Yeah, if he's available, definitely.
Yep. Yeah. Same. I guess for me, someone I'm going to talk about is Roschon Johnson, because I think so many people have given up on Roschon in redraft, of course, and in Dynasty, you don't stand a chance at getting him. But I think a lot of people gave up on him with Herbert coming back. Everyone thought it was probably going to be Herbert and Foreman. Roschon Johnson kind of get pushed to the back. And now all of a sudden, Roschon Johnson is getting the bulk of the work. And it's like, where did that come from? And I don't know if it's because he's better or if they're like, our season's screwed. Get the young guy in there. And that's who we want to see. Tyler, thoughts on that?
I think the Bears are there. I think the Bears are there. They're trying. I mean, I was surprised. You had a healthy Devonta Foreman, you had a healthy Khalil Herbert, and Roschon was getting a major amount of the work. What's up, Hoove? Man, Hoove's awesome. I just watched him and Seth's show with IBT Media. They killed it. Hoove's an incredible personality. Hopefully, I can get him on my Friday night show here sometime soon.
Yeah.
But Roschon, I mean, I think the Bears have done that. They're like trying to decide what they got, what they don't got, and they're preparing for the draft. And I think we've seen a lot of positive things from Roschon. It kind of reminds me of like Brian Robinson Jr. last year. Like it was like a kind of a slow ramp up right after the injury, and we're kind of seeing that. But I mean, we could be seeing next year Roschon, crushing that top 15. I mean, I'm sure nobody expected Brian Robinson Jr. to be in the top 10 this year, and look at him.
Top 5.
But he's a talented guy. He was literally behind Bijan, and still putting up numbers. I think that they like him a lot, and I think they're just let him see what he can do. I don't think Khalil Herbert was ever going to be an RB1. You know what I mean? Like Khalil Herbert was always an RB2 and a change of pace type guy. Maybe a big breaker, but Roschon's going to be the dude.
Yeah, I completely think that's right. Now, with them trying to figure out, the Bears trying to figure out what they have coming up next year and what they're doing, does that kind of go with Fields too? You think they're going to – do you think they are looking at Fields going, is this our guy for the future? And are we going after Caleb Williams? Or do you think they're in on Justin Fields?
I have no idea. Like Justin Fields is not awful. Like he's improved as a passer. He can move the football. He's just got to stay healthy. like he can be a franchise quarterback for somebody. I don't know if maybe the Bears are just like, but it feels like they could dish him and take somebody. It's just I don't know, because I mean Fields' has undercover been decent. He definitely improved this year as a passer. I mean, for anybody that has DJ Moore, you've reaped some of the benefits of that. So
when he's on the field.
Who knows? You think they're going to stay with Fields, Kyle, or you think they're going to go?
I think if they have a shot at Caleb Williams, they take him and dish Fields.
That's what I think.
I think they'll trade him because he can still get a lot of trade value. He hasn't tanked himself to the point where he can't fetch them a pretty penny, but I think Caleb Williams would be a better quarterback overall in the NFL.
I feel like if they wait that close, though, obviously you got to wait now until closer to the draft, but if you wait then and then dish him, I don't know that you get as much for him. You know what I mean? I don't know that they're gonna get a second for him or something.
If you wait until those picks in the teens after the top QBs have gone and someone missed out.
That's what I was thinking.
I think you could probably, and we don't know the draft order yet, of course, but if someone that needs a QB falls into the teens, late teens, whatever, I think you could fetch a pretty good little ransom for Mr. Fields right in that range.
I could see that being true too, because you got to think, getting Fields even if you got him at a mid first round pick or a late first round pick, that's some pretty decent value for a quarterback like that.
What better return on investment than the Niners got out of Trey Lance?
No doubt about it.
Or the Jets are getting out of Zach Wilson.
No joke. Zach who?
Your mom's boyfriend.
Got it. I remember.
Don't y'all have the same mom?
Yeah. That's why it's such a good joke.
It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, how the Bears play that. I'm just curious to see if they stick with Justin Fields, if they trust him or not. I don't know whether to trust him in fantasy football, much less real life. That's tough.
If they don't take Caleb, I think they'll trade back and get more capital. Though I don't see them jumping Caleb to pick somebody else.
Hey, if you're watching right now, put what you think in the chat. You think Fields stays with Chicago or he leaves? What do you think?
Because honestly, trading back might not be such a bad plan. The problem is, do you take a chance on missing out on Marvin Harrison Jr. too? You're taking some risks. I don't know. Those top picks you can really mess up. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do. But anyway, I'll go back to yours in a second, Albert. Sorry, I missed that. Trade Kincaid and Waddle or Kincaid and Sutton for Pittman?
Neither.
Yeah, I wouldn't do either of those.
I wouldn't do either one of those.
That's a lot for Pittman.
Hard pass for me.
Yeah, that's all three. Fields, New England. New England drafts Harrison Jr. God, they need him. They need a playmaker of some sort.
Man, if Fields went there and they drafted Harrison Jr., Bill Belichick would be like, "We're back, baby."
Yeah,
there's very little chance that if they trade for Fields, they'll be able to draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
Unless they have multiple first rounders, I'm just not aware of or something.
Nobody's gonna pay. Nobody is going to pay a first round pick for Fields. If he's
not the top half, not the top half of it, but still, I don't see that happening. I don't think New England will draft a Marvin Harrison Jr.
Ooh, Belichick's going to the Chargers regardless, huh? You think he's tired of the cold?
I tell you what, I think the Chargers are tired of Brandon Staley and Kellen Moore. Man, they went from having a killer offense to being duds.
Remember how excited everyone was for Kellen Moore? Me and Corey were like, yeah.
I'm just saying, we thought Eckler was rough this year. Get Belichick in charge of his team. I don't trust Eckler at all then. He's going to be
I don't think
more
Eckler will
running
be
back.
there.
I know. I don't think so either, but just ruined my job. Patriots high third is basically a late second. Let's get back up here to Albert really quick. Ayuk, DJ Moore, Nico Collins, pick 2, full PPR. Ayuk and Collins, probably.
I don't remember who. Collins is 100%. You're starting him no matter what. I don't remember
Ayuk is playing against Seattle.
who DJ's playing.
Collins is playing against the Jets. And DJ Moore.
Chicago's playing Detroit. Go with Ayuk and Collins. With no Tank Dell, you literally can't bench Nico Collins
Even against
the rest of the year. Even against the Jets, you're not benching him.
You want? I mean, if Sauce one-ups on or man's up on him all game, you still got Nico.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to throw out there that DJ Moore, last time he played Detroit, he had 22.6 points. I mean, he tore him up in Detroit.
Okay. I'm still going with Ayuk and Collins.
Okay. I'm just throwing stuff out there I'm going Ayuk for sure.
I think I'm going to go DJ Moore, no Collins.
I think I might do the same. And I'm admitting it might be the wrong pick. But Nico Collins against that Jets secondary, but it's more.
Well, Nico's going to get double teamed. There's nobody left.
Yeah.
It's Nico, and then you're going to have
No,
Schultz,
there's Mechie, Tyler. There's Mechie.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
yourself.
You're going to have Nico, and then you're going to have some kind of combination of Mechie and Brevin Jordan, because Schultz, I don't know if Schultz will be back yet this week.
I don't know.
But, like, that's it. And so if you're the Jets, who are you going to cover? You're going to put Quincy Williams covering Brevin out, and then you're going to have Sauce and probably a safety over top on Nico. So they're going to have to beat you on the ground, or they're going to have to do medium routes with somebody like Mechie.
Yep.
I'm not benching Nico.
I don't blame you. I honestly don't blame you. I mean, that's tough. But seeing what DJ Moore did last time against Detroit.
After what he just did to Denver, who's been playing better defense and everything.
Well, Patrick Surtain was beat up all game.
He's not. I'm not worried about, he's going to get so many targets.
It's Denver.
He's going to get so many targets. I don't care if he's playing.
The targets will definitely be there, especially.
He's going to have 20 freaking targets in a game.
We've seen Olave get double-digit targets and still only put up 5 points. So, we'll see what happens.
He didn't have CJ Stroud throwing the ball at the time either.
Fair.
I mean, I think Nico Collins will still have a good game.
Yeah.
I want Ayuk, and then I could flip a coin between the other two, honestly.
I want Nico and then flip a coin between the other two.
Ooh. That's a conundrum. And not a bad conundrum to have. For sure. Who is Ayuk playing this week? Oh, Seattle? Yeah. I want Ayuk in there. For sure. So I don't have a question about that one. Yeah, here's that. Is there news about whether Schultz is playing this week? I know nothing.
Yeah, we don't know anything until the reports come out either.
Yeah.
I wish I was like Schefter and had all these insiders that were sending me secret text messages about injuries.
We used to have a little bit of insight on Eckler and Waller, but that was kind of it. Just
I can tell you this. Brevin Jordan was good enough last week. I don't think that they rush back Dalton Schultz.
I could see that.
Brevin Jordan's always been good. He just never had the opportunity to play. That wasn't surprising to me that he filled in pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a. Yeah, I agree with you, Tyler. They probably won't rush him back. What are the Texans? What's their let me see. What's their record look like?
I just had that up the other day.
Just give me their freaking record, people. They're 7-5. Yeah. They're third in their division. Huh. For some reason I felt like they were doing better than that, but hey, that's a hell of a season for the Texans right now, so kudos. And Stroud, is Stroud doing fine? Gonna be in? Oh yeah, he only briefly left the game or entered the contest, so
Yeah.
he's good. He's good to go. Dude's a stud. All right, let's get into some other waiver wire pickups really quick. Who else y'all want to touch on?
Oh, let's see here.
I've got a
Let me ask you this: with Brian Robinson Jr. going out, are you? I got two running backs really. Are you going to try to go? I know they're on bye this week for Week 14, but if you're secured in the playoffs, do you go try to get Antonio Gibson in case Brian Robinson can't play?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a sneaky pickup now, because they are on bye, and I think you go ahead and go try to snag him. I mean, he's a good.
we don't know. We don't know for sure if Robinson will or won't play, but he's not a bad stash just in case. He's been he's been getting like 6 to 8 fantasy points anyways. If something happens to somebody else, you need him in a pinch. Even like he's not a horrible stash for this time of year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Tajay Spears, same way. Like he hasn't been scoring out of his mind, but if something happens to Derrick Henry, you get a stud for the playoffs. Not a bad stash.
Agree.
Right, Tajay Spears is one of my other ones. I like that stash a lot.
Speaking of just kind of mediocre points, but still kind of could put them in your lineup. I do want to ask about the Pittsburgh running backs against Arizona this last week. Both just very mediocre. I mean, what the heck was that? That was ugly. Steelers
That game was ugly.
Steelers, they were horrible.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we thought that whole team was going to go off. Freiermuth should have had a big game. Both the running backs should have had big games.
Yeah, it was a rough week, man.
I mean, you get Warren producing against teams that they shouldn't be running against, and then you go into Arizona and nothing. Freiermuth had 5.9 points when the week before they gave up 2 touchdowns to the tight end, to Higbee, to freaking Tyler Higbee. They gave up 2 touchdowns the week before that, and then Freiermuth comes out and gets 3 catches for 29 yards.
Yeah, stick in there on
explain fantasy football to me.
No, you'll never crack that code. But stick in there with these guys because they still have a good schedule through the playoffs and stuff. If they got you here, stick with them.
Yeah,
this is a bad game for that team altogether.
I agree.
Which happens.
Absolutely.
Totally happens.
Yep. Fantasy football, anything can happen. It's so unpredictable. It's really annoying. I lost this week. My lineup was Hurts, McCaffrey, Pollard, Ayuk, Waddle, Kelsey, Kamara, and I lost.
Wow.
To Stafford, Swift, Kyren Williams, Olave, Pittman, Trey McBride, and Devin Singletary.
Wow, sucks to suck.
What the actual hell is that? So, Stafford outscored Jalen Hurts. Kyren Williams outscored Tony Pollard. McBride outscored Kelsey by quite a bit. Pittman outscored Waddle. That was a wild week. Though, Kyle, I do need to call you out also on your call that you made last week with Laporta and Kelsey being practically the same this week. You
mean mad scientist lost his absolute mind?
You were way off, my dude. Way off, you dumbass. Laporta was so much more valuable this week than Kelsey. It was ridiculous. Kelsey has not been super great.
Yeah.
I
do remember that.
For Kelsey.
Chat lost their mind.
Yeah, that was nuts. But Called it. Because we were just talking about that week. But chat went crazy over it. That's fine. Just throwing it out there. Laporta, though. Holy hell. This guy, super involved. I mean, 9 for 9 for 81. No, come on, Corey. Woo, 9 for 9 for 140 yards and a touchdown. That's awesome. That is just incredible numbers. This dude is getting high volume passing and producing with it. So, loving Laporta in both redraft and dynasty. Dude's a stud. Dude's an absolute stud. Kelsey's been consistent. He's fine. He's the number 2 tight end. Laporta's the number 3. Which leads me to think Hawkinson is number 1 right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely been youth movement at the top of the tight end rankings this year.
Yeah. But just so like looking at their overall ranking, right? So number 1 tight end Hawkinson is number 33 overall, and in just this league I'm looking at. It's not tight end premium or anything like that. So he's the number 33 overall. Kelsey is the number 2 tight end, number 35 overall. So there's only two spot differential there. And then Laporta, the number 3 tight end, is the number 48 overall. So 13 players separating there. So not too much of a difference between those guys this year. And Hawkinson, his numbers have been boosted with JJ being out. So Kyle flashing the lights over there, going red light.
My camera blinked.
I know. Reason. It's wild, dude. I don't know why your stuff does that. But yeah, tight end.
Does it like once a night? My camera will just like reboot or something. It's weird.
Okay, over on IG, Raju said Elijah Moore, Noah Brown, or Jackson Smith. I'm going Noah Brown.
Noah Brown.
Give me them brownie points.
Sure.
Yup. It's going to be a lot of attention on Nico Collins, right, Tyler?
It's true.
Apparently they're putting 8 guys on Nico.
Quit exaggerating, Kyle. It's
everybody else is open. Do it.
Really, all they need is Sauce, and they'll be fine. But I mean, add Sauce and a safety over top, and he's locked up.
You just like saying Sauce.
Sauce got that sauce, man. Have you seen the B-Dubs commercials? He's a real deal.
The Sauce Gardner sauce of B-Dubs is lit. that stuff is litty titty. I love it.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like Sauce Gardner's sauce.
Okay, that you know what that tastes like is troublesome. Troublesome, but also
as soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be bad." Here we go.
It's disturbing and impressive all at the same time.
Welcome to the rated R portion of the show.
I'll just put that ball on the tee for you. I was like, "Here you go, buddy."
Yeah. What do you say, Kyle? Like, give me your signature. Oh no, not with a pen or something. Like, never mind. Anyways, let's move on.
Sorry, I was talking myself to death. Okay.
SoCal Cowboys getting payback this week.
You freaking know it, bro.
I can see that happening.
It's coming. They just got thumped by the Niners like we did. Now we're gonna kick them while they're down.
We'll see. I'm not sure if that Niners loss will maybe motivate them a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't know.
It wasn't like a close one that they came out with. They got thumped. That they went home like pouting.
Yeah, the good news is we got thumped before our bye, and then we fixed everything on the bye, and we've been playing well since. The bad news is they're just coming right off of it. So hopefully we can just kick them a little bit while they're down.
Hopefully. We'll see. I mean, dang, Dallas was this close last time. So
yeah, we lost by a foot last
I will say this, Philly's defense towards the beginning of the year played a lot better than they're playing right now. I mean, kudos to the pass rush, but Dallas has the O-line to stop the pass rush. They need their DBs back. They need their linebackers to do something. Like that back half of that defense for Philly is wah, wah.
Agreed. Yeah, not
Especially
pretty.
got against Dallas at home. CeeDee Lamb, 200 yards incoming.
Dude,
Well,
Brock Purdy just threw 4 tutties.
What are you thinking about Ferguson against them?
Sure. Any receiver against them. It's going to be fine.
It's gonna be a good week. Brandon Cooks, play him.
I'm starting Brandon Cooks in a league.
Ferguson, play him. Probably taking away from your Turpin and Gallup still, but unless it's like a really deep league. But
I have on a dynasty team, I have Mahomes and Dak Prescott, and I've started Mahomes every week, of course. And this week I'm finally pulling my head out of my ass, and I'm gonna start Dak because he's scoring more in fantasy. And I was like, this week against Philly is the week to do it. So I'm starting him and pulling Brandon Cooks off my bench and playing him too.
Time to dust off Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. So since you are starting Dak this week, the only league that I have him in, I'm gonna pull him off and not start.
Everybody else bench him and stay away from
Good
him.
idea. Good idea. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I should pull Dak, Brandon Cooks, and I should probably pull Pollard from my lineup in that league since I've clinched the number 1 seed. I don't need to win.
Pollard's a guy I would consider finding a replacement for this week.
I already did.
Or you just live vicariously through your Cowboys because it doesn't matter if you win. But at least you can watch your game on Sunday going, yeah.
I would rather not jinx them. If I put in my starting lineup, I'm going to jinx it. I should just pull Pollard. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to pull him right now. But
that means I'm starting him.
Do I start him? Here's my options, though, to put him in because he's in my flex right now. Do I put in Eckler, Zach Moss, Devontae Smith, Zay Flowers, or Dalton Kincaid?
What is this team?
Oh,
those guys are on your bench right now?
This is the team that I lost this week, even though my team is magnificent.
So here's the thing with Corey. He cheats.
That's not true.
All of these skills he uses to build our website, he uses to hack these fantasy websites.
That's not true.
Gives him some extra points.
Yeah, it's a great roster, but I still lost with it because of Trey McBride and the Colts defense this week. So Zach Moss against Cincinnati, we thinking that? We're not trusting Eckler against Denver, right?
No, I like Moss against Cincy.
Either like Moss against Cincy or Flowers against the Rams.
I mean, Moss, though, he let everybody down this week.
I called that.
Yeah. And am I starting Jalen Hurts against Dallas or Josh Allen against Kansas City?
Say that one again. I wasn't ready.
Hurts or Allen this week?
Hurts. I'm still going Hurts.
Yeah, I feel like
he's just been better. Like I don't.
Well, Josh Allen has been playing like absolute crap.
Yeah,
it's more about that Kansas City defense. We talked about it. The Kansas City defense is actually clutch. I think they've had maybe 2 weeks all season under 10 points in standard scoring. Like they have been. It doesn't matter who they play. They've been very good, which is why Mahomes has been able to underperform this year, and the receivers and them still be in games.
Oh yeah. That defense is
carrying. The problem is they're losing too many this year.
Their defense struggled the last 2 games somehow against Vegas and Green Bay, but otherwise been pretty solid. But that's weird. But they're pretty dependable, so they're a pretty safe bet. But yeah, Josh Allen has he makes me a little nervous if I'm being honest. And Jalen Hurts, his floor is pretty low. They got that tush push going on. The city of brotherly shove there is pretty friendly to Jalen Hurts. So
it's no coincidence that the abbreviation for brotherly shove is BS.
That's true.
What was the one they said for Jordan Love this week? They had a new name for it.
I don't know.
Hold on, I'll find it.
The love from behind.
That's no.
That's pretty good though.
The love handle.
Now I'm curious of what it ends up being, Tyler.
The love shove.
The love shove. That's what it was. The
Oh,
love shove.
that doesn't sound legal.
It all sounds very erotic.
I thought that sort of thing. Did it used to be illegal? Like,
Yeah, it used to be.
where you couldn't push a player like that forward?
It used to be, and now it sounds like Goodell wants to make it that way again, which I think is good. I think it's a stupid play.
Yeah, I mean, why did they go with, there was obviously a reason it wasn't allowed.
Injuries. I mean, when you're creating pileups, basically. But I mean, Justin Herbert got hurt on it. Tank Dell got hurt on it this week.
Yep.
Like, I mean, lots of people. I mean, it's an injury play.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they didn't used to do it, but I still am not sure the reason they went to allowing it in the first place.
I don't think it's a big deal. It's fine.
I don't know. It's kind of silly. Though, who ran that rendition of it this last week where they ran it around the end? Everyone thought they were going to shove up the middle, and they sent a wing back around the end instead. I can't remember.
I don't know, but it's funny you use the term wing back. Like we're running that middle school wing tee offense, I know what you're talking about.
It may have been Miami, actually. I can't remember, but it was good. Shut up, Tyler. You right.
That middle school wing tee, baby. Next thing you know, instead of the tush push, you're running the wedge.
Dude, I cannot wait to start coaching the kiddos football team and getting that wing tee out there, dude. I'm gonna tear it up with some deception in that backfield. I cannot wait. I'm gonna be like the Lincoln Riley of Little League football.
You're like old school Georgia Tech.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I ran
that Air Force offense.
I was running my dad was our Little League coach, and we were running the triple option in 4th grade. It was awesome, dude. No joke. It was fun.
Would have been more awesome if I'd had more luck teaching them numbskulls how to block for you. But
late night XXX fantasy football. Yeah, boy.
Go to fantasyfootballadvicenetwork.com.
Oh, my God.
Well, I was just pointing at the logo.
Kyle, Jesus.
Pointing at the logo.
Oh, look at the time. Would you play Browning over Minshew?
I would not.
No. Gardner to the moon.
I wouldn't get that crazy, but
hey, Gardner going to take the Colts to the playoffs.
He'll get close. Let's just say that he'll get closer to the moon than Browning. Let's just say that.
Hey, now, to the moon and to the playoffs are two totally different things. I agree.
I'll take him to the moon too. Gardner to the moon. What do you have? 200-yard receivers this week?
I believe so. I wish his performances, his real life performances, produced fantasy performances.
Yeah.
But I like Gardner Minshew quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I like rooting for the guy.
I hope he gets an opportunity.
He's getting his opportunity.
No, I mean to actually like own a team, like to be the guy for a team.
I think he's had that.
I mean, last week 312 yards, 2 tutties.
He's getting his shot, man. He's getting his shot to prove it.
What's funny is he's had to come in and play for hurt quarterbacks so many times and had so many chances to show what he can do, and still nobody will give him a starting job. But yet, we've got some of these teams out there with starters. It's like Zach Wilson. And
oh, yeah, man. Goodness.
What else going on out here?
Yeah, because
you see that thing about Zach Wilson? So he's good now. He's healthy. But he was trying to – there was a news article came out today. It's like Zach Wilson is deciding if he wants to go back on the field for the Jets. Like if he wants to play. Like I think he's going to choose not to play.
Yeah, from what I read earlier, that was also BS.
Lord, I hope so. If he just chooses not to play because they suck, he'll never get another job. Probably
No.
not even as a backup.
Yeah, could you imagine Zach Wilson coming in and just being like, I'm not playing because you guys suck. Like,
Oh,
what?
man. He gets his ass kicked.
We suck.
You're right, Tyler. He gets ass kicked about that.
CJ Mosley take him out back and just beat the shit out.
Also, I don't
Quinnen
think
Williams.
I don't think I want a Zach Wilson with that much extra time in his hands out there prowling for our moms. Like, they need to keep him busy.
I ain't worried about it. Yeah, he ain't going. Yeah, I'm not worried. My mom ain't gonna bring him in. You know what I mean? Love her, but it ain't happening.
I think it was Aaron Rodgers who was like, no, that's stupid. That's not. Yeah, Aaron Finn, Zach Wilson, scolds Jets for leaks to media. I don't know.
Zach Wilson's a moron, but I don't think he's that dumb. Like, that almost sounds like he's about to get benched and his agent's trying to save face.
You know, some of these players, though, I wonder, like Zach Wilson came into the league really young. Sam Darnold came into the league really young. Like some of these quarterbacks that come in really young, like, you know, I wonder if they had like done like a Jordan Love and set behind like a real, like a primetime quarterback for 2-3 seasons, if they could have been better, if they could have matured, they could have made better decisions, you know, and we would be talking about a different narrative for them moving forward. You know, I always wonder about that with the guys that come in super young.
100%. Yeah, because those guys who sit behind somebody typically do pretty decent.
Well, some guys come in ready to go, and some need more time to mature and develop.
Yeah.
And Zach Wilson's definitely one of those that needed more time to mature and develop.
Well, the problem with a lot of these young guys, though, these talented guys, like they're coming into a team that need them right then, right? They don't already have a quarterback.
Yeah.
You know? So they're not getting to come in and learn behind somebody. So
I don't know what they were thinking when they took Zach Wilson, though. It was like, I felt like that year the NFL was searching for quarterbacks to try to like make a big thing about.
Right.
And, you know, like I remember them talking about Zach Wilson, like the one throw at the combine where he launched that one on the run, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's the second coming." And then there was like a clip later of Sam Darnold making the same throw in like a real game in the NFL, and we know where Sam Darnold's at, right? Like, you know, I was like, you can't attribute this whole career to one throw at the combine.
No, Sam Darnold. I was never high on Sam Darnold even in college. I mean, overrated for sure. We got Millie Mills in the house.
What's up, Millie?
Steven in here fishing for Philly takes. He said, "Who's your MVP front runner? Not Dak." Yeah, we know. You just want to hear us say Jalen Hurts.
Dak's up there though. Dak's up there. If they beat Philly next week or this week, it's going to climb even more.
When they beat Philly this week.
When they beat Philly, I mean, the Dak truthers they're already out, but they're going to come out on another level.
I don't think he's at MVP level right now, maybe, but
you are talking about the number 3 quarterback in fantasy.
Oh, I know. Brock Purdy, I've heard his name tossed around.
No.
I mean, I've heard it tossed around quite a bit.
Everybody's going to toss around any QB on a halfway decent team.
Let's see. I'm just going to look up here.
Give it to Tyreek Hill, man. That's who deserves it.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, for real.
I would love to see like a non-quarterback win it.
Yeah,
never happens.
Yep, they said it could be a weird year. It could be a non-QB that wins it. Right now, Jalen Hurts is sitting at plus 350 odds. Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy also sitting at plus 350 current odds. Patrick Mahomes at plus 600. Lamar Jackson at plus 750. Tua at plus 800. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, Hurts right now. Hurts looks to be the favorite. But hard to say. That could be interesting. I'd like to see some non-QB lists on here, though. Keyshawn, said if I had an MVP vote, I'd have to give it to Brock Purdy. The hell's Brock Purdy done to be that good? Dude's surrounded by some of the best talent in the NFL.
Dude, Purdy's not bad though. Purdy can process reads. Purdy can get that ball out. I mean, shoot.
You know,
But
He
he's
114 yards and 4 touchdowns last week.
but here's what's funny. Do you remember those conversations happening earlier this season where everyone's like, is Brock Purdy just being exposed right now? Is like, he's really not that good and stuff. Do you remember these conversations that were happening?
Look, he does exactly what Kyle Shanahan needs him to do. He's got a decent O-line, and he's got good players around him. So, obviously, that changes the game a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have to facilitate offense, and he does that. You know, like he makes good plays that are him plays. You know, it's I don't know, it's different. But I think he's actually a good quarterback.
What about Deron Bland?
A good
MVP
cornerback.
MVP talk?
No. That's
defensive player of the year for sure, but I mean, I get irritated because MVP and Heisman have become the same thing. It's just who's the best quarterback. It's not who's the best actual player anymore. And that's why all you see is quarterbacks win Heisman every year. Quarterbacks win MVP. Like Tyreek Hill should hands down be the MVP of the league this year, and he doesn't have a chance at it because of the position he plays. I think that's crap.
I mean, I can't disagree on an argument for Tyreek Hill. I mean, of course, quarterbacks are going to have tons of stats.
They all do.
Would Tua's stats be as good without Tyreek Hill on his team?
No, because Tyreek Hill burning everybody.
Right, like that's like when
everybody.
Matt Leinart won the Heisman Trophy, and it's like, dude, no, like he wasn't the one racking up those stats. He was throwing a 2-yard pass, and Reggie Bush was taking it 68 yards for a touchdown. All right, that wasn't Matt Leinart racking up those stats for that Heisman Trophy. So it's kind of the same thing. I mean, and really, Brock Purdy, he's doing fine, but these weapons that he's got, it's easy for him, right? Like he's surrounded by studs. So, I mean, if anything, Dak's got the least amount of talent around him as compared to Jalen Hurts or Brock Purdy, or probably even, well, Tua's, he's still got quite a bit around him, I guess. At least he's got, I mean, I guess we got Cooks now. Sure. Does Dak make Ferguson look good, or is Ferguson really that good? But really, he's got his true number one wide receiver, and then he doesn't have superstars. I don't know. I'm just saying. Of those three quarterbacks, Dak's working with the least.
I don't know.
And of course, Hurts has like the best offensive line in the league too, so that doesn't hurt anything.
Dude, Brandon Cooks ain't no jabroni though. Let's be real.
He's no jabroni, but he's no Devontae Smith or Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel.
And Ferguson ain't got
whatever
her.
order you put those Niner ones in, like Ferguson's no Kittle or Goddard.
And then to also have McCaffrey in your backfield. Well, that's
Oh yeah, I mean Purdy's got the weapons.
he's got it.
Purdy's got the weapons. Tua's got the weapons. Hurts has the weapons. Dak does not have as many weapons, but you know, I think, yeah.
I mean, he has weapons, just not as many weapons. But he also has a good offensive line, which also helps.
Yeah.
So, not as
Well,
good as
yes.
Jalen Hurts, though. Just
Stephen L over in the chat is just being silly. I don't know if he even watches football or not, but
he may be, but he is no Deebo Samuel. Who is that?
CeeDee Lamb, because
CeeDee
Millie
Lamb.
says CeeDee's a superstar. He says he may be a superstar, but he's no Debo, thick Tavon Austin. Like that's literally a joke. Like he's got to be.
But Debo is nice though. Let's be real. Debo ain't garbage.
He's good, but he's no CeeDee Lamb as a receiver.
I don't know.
He's not.
What? Well, hold on, Tyler. Who do you want on your team, Deebo Samuel or CeeDee Lamb?
I mean, at this point, I want CeeDee Lamb.
Deebo Samuel has one good game, and now everyone's just like, "Oh, he's CeeDee Lamb." No,
No, it's not that. I mean, I don't know. They're both good. We'll see how CD. I mean, Debo has a top 3 finish in fantasy football. 1,400 yards, 6 touchdown season, finished number 3 in PPR.
He had one good year, and people have been drafting him high ever since.
Well, I mean, CD been in the league. What is this? This is year 3. He's he's right now ranked 3.
He finished 5 last year.
Right.
Okay.
That's already another season over.
Yeah, well, it's also different too because quarterback.
Debo hasn't done it in 2 years, 3 years.
I know. Hold on. Let me make sure. I'm not taking Debo over CD, but I'm saying Debo ain't a slouch either.
I'm just saying CD has finished as a RB2 or RB2. That would be impressive. Wide receiver 2 or higher every year of his NFL career. His lowest finish being 22. And then Debo Samuel has finished, 32, 96, because he got hurt, 3, 40, and now
Debo's stuff is different because he's gotten hurt a lot. They use him a lot in running back schemes.
He's a gadget, a spot start type of player. He's not a reliable workhorse wide receiver 1 like CD is. That's what it comes down to. He's a great athlete, and he's not a slouch. You're right.
Yeah.
But he is not on the same level of player as a CD.
That's what I just wanted to make sure because it was like, the initial reaction was like, oh, Debo, Debo is not.
Compared to CD Lamb, yes.
Yeah.
In a vacuum, no. He's a good player. He does some good things. He's just not reliable workhorse type of player for your team.
But I do, in fantasy, or actually in real life too, I love players like Debo. Debo players are exciting to me. They're just super great athletes. You can put them anywhere on there. Like I used to love Percy Harvin, right? I got Percy Harvin on my team anytime I possibly could because he was just exciting. And I loved that. I love those type of players. So I'm secretly
CD is absolutely above Debo. I have CD in every one of my dynasty leagues. I have Debo in 2.
You just like them thick. That's all. You just. That's wild. That's funny. All right, Millie, let's get up here. We spent a lot of time on that. Thanks for that, Steven. That was a good conversation. Anyways, I'm in a sticky spot this week. McBride on a bye, and Goddard is coming back, supposedly, and Likely and Waller on my waivers.
Grab Likely.
I don't mind Likely there.
I don't know if Goddard's coming back or not, but I would grab Likely.
I think Goddard
could have a pretty good game.
I think Goddard comes back this week, but it's going to be light work, I feel like.
They already said Waller won't be back this week. I wouldn't worry about him.
Yeah.
Likely is a good matchup this week.
Yeah, it says he's trending in the right direction and has a chance to return in week 14 versus the Cowboys. I think I saw earlier today that he said he was feeling good, but I'm not trusting Goddard coming back from a broken arm there to catch balls with. Yeah, I'm not trusting that. He says he doesn't trust Goddard arm. I'm not dropping first streamer tight end or dropping any of my receivers. Shallow bench league. Yeah, I just don't know how useful Goddard's going to be.
I'd probably rather have Likely the rest of the season than Goddard in that offense, honestly.
Yeah. How about the Purdy over Tua call on the forum? It was a scary island.
So we were on the show on Friday, and SoCal Evan was like, he was big on Purdy this week. I didn't love Purdy this week. I thought he could throw for a touchdown, probably 1 touchdown and like maybe 250. The other side was Tua, and I was like, Tua to me will have 200-something yards and 3 touchdowns by halftime. Well, by halftime, he had like 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then they basically just coasted the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But, the argument was like on the floor, like serviceable. Like I felt like 3 touchdowns was the floor for Tua this week. I ended up being wrong. It happens. But Evan was on his own island, and he was like, I'm taking Purdy against Philly. And I'm like, oh, I just don't know. That pass rush is nasty. But the San Francisco's got a good O-line, so it made it work. And, kudos for Evan. He killed it.
Yeah, that was a good call right there. For sure. Steven's drunk. He's been here in the chat. But yeah, that's a good call. I mean, honestly, Tua was a good start there too. But you're right, they got up and then they were able to just kind of coast the rest of the time. So didn't work out for you, but still a good start there still. But man, Brock Purdy tore it up this week. That was good stuff. Next, he's got Seattle, then Arizona, then tough Baltimore, and then Washington in week 17. Let's go, Brock Purdy. What a schedule. What a schedule. So
I'd love to see it.
Makes me really love Ayuk moving forward too. So super flex, Stroud, Love, or Purdy. Pick 2. Well, I think I got to go a Purdy against Seattle. Let me see. I got to remind myself, Love is playing the Giants and Stroud is playing the Jets.
They all had I can't bench Stroud.
Yeah.
But Love and Purdy both have great matchups.
I think I'm kind of the same way there. Purdy,
One
for sure.
Stroud and Purdy, but Love's been playing well. I don't know, man. I don't trust him to keep it up consistently. The dude still makes me so freaking nervous.
Man. Sorry, I'm just looking at Love's past performances here. He's been doing pretty well.
He's been on fire, dude. He's been on fire.
Shit. Man. Hold on. Stroud, though. I'm going to put some real thought into this. I just feel like Stroud...
I'm just going to sit back and relax for 10 minutes while Corey figures this out.
Position. Purdy for sure. And then I think okay, I have to go with Stroud here too. I don't trust Love.
Is that smoke coming out of your ears?
Oh, dude, can you hear the hamster panting? It's just it's like
so Stroud coming off that 1 touchdown game against Denver. You think he does that much better against the Jets?
Good. Apparently, Tyler has lost all faith in the Texans now.
I have not lost faith in the Texans. I'm just asking,
No, Stroud has been playing well all year long. I'm not benching him now.
So
they're in.
Love has thrown for a minimum 2 touchdowns in the last 4 games. And he has the last 2 games he thrown for 3. And he's got the Giants this week.
Okay, and I'm sticking with my guys.
Saying it's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm Purdy. I'm sticking with my guys, man. I've seen
Sunday. I don't know. I don't want to say Love. I just don't want to say it. Because
Love has had.
I'll give you my answer another time.
Love has had worse outcomes against easier teams this year. So
yeah, I've got to think through the strategy on that one for me. But Purdy for sure. All right, here we go. Steven, do I start Javonte Williams, Rasheed Rice, or Calvin Ridley in a full PPR format at flex? Who is Javonte playing this week? He's playing the Chargers. Ridley playing against Cleveland. I don't love that.
You're going with Javonte there.
Rasheed Rice against Buffalo.
Yeah, go with Javonte there.
Yeah, a lot depends on Trevor. I don't know if Trevor's going to play this game. He needs to play because they're on the cusp. But
Even if he does play against Cleveland, that's a tough draw.
I like Javon. I mean, the Chargers are just bad. That team feels like they've quit.
They do seem that way. Yeah, I think Javante's your safest bet there for sure. So, y'all heard anything on Swift? I think he just got game planned out. I don't think he's hurt, dude. I haven't heard anything about it.
Anything.
I think he's fine. I think he just wasn't part of
negative game script against the Niners with the Niners with a huge lead.
Swift is doing what he always does. He gets our hopes up that he might be relevant, and then he falls off somehow.
Yup. I heard that he's scared to play this week though, because he's playing against Dallas.
That's what I figured. That's incredible. Siri agrees. Swift is scared to play.
That's fantastic. Oh, let's see. Oh, Salcow says, love and Purdy here. Soleil, the Jets been shutting QBs down.
That's what dude, I like. The more I think about it, I think I'm leaning that way. I'm not trying to get cutesy either, but I'm like, love's like hot right now. I want to ride with the hot hand against a weak defense.
SoCal, I'll give the answer next Tuesday night on Weekly Kickoff. I'll let you know which one I decided on. Fire up Javonte against those Chargers. Yeah, I think that's what we all came to. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. We've reached our time, and that's all the chat we got in there. So we're going to hop off of here. And tomorrow night, we got Queen's Ransom coming on at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central for that. Join those ladies talking about their league. And then we'll see you again. Us three and JC will see you Thursday night after Thursday Night Football. So anyways, good luck this week, guys. Go get your waiver players, and we'll see you next time. Deuces.